Welcome back to Austin, Texas in the FloMarching studios for the intermission edition, second intermission edition of Taking the Field. I'm Emily Tanner Patterson, and once again, I am joined in the studio today by Daniel Montoya. Daniel, it's been a fun, full day so far of drum corps, and there is still more to go. The drum corps just does not stop.
It doesn't. 2 out of 3 blocks, one more block, and it just keeps getting hotter and hotter in Atlanta, or Hotland. It's just they're not settling for barely make it in. I think they just want to take down as many of the perennial world-class finalists as possible and really stake their claim there this year.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of buzz, especially amongst the student potential marching community, about the fact that they are actually marching trombones for the entire show. So since the rule change passed and all brass instruments were allowed into shows, we've seen trombones as a feature, a la Bluecoats, and many others. But we've never seen a corps take the chance on marching them for the entire show. What are some of the challenges that are associated with trombones versus a baritone or euphonium?
Well, as a music arranger, I find no challenges at all. I love the sound of a trombone. It bridges the gap between the horn, the mellophone, and a baritone, and it provides the bite that, sorry baritones, the baritone doesn't provide. However, my friends in the visual side will tell you, it's so hard to drill for them and write dots for them and blah, blah, blah.
Because they have this massive
Yes, they have a giant thing, but add another step. I don't know, sorry drill writers, don't at me, but trombones, do it. It's awesome, love it, we need it.
And it's you know, it's a great opportunity for pre-existing musicians. You know, before, if you're a trombonist, you spent years training to do this, and then all of a sudden, if you wanted to march drum corps, you had to do this.
Correct.
Which, of course, you know, woodwind players have it even worse than that. But
absolutely,
you know, this was an opportunity for people who are trombonists to play trombone and get better at trombone.
There's more to trombone than just glissandi, which is what people like to use them for. It's like trombone feature, but now they actually give them some real music over there in Mandarin. So good job, Sacramento.
All right, let's Sacramento. Very strong. So a lot of what we're seeing here is simply the depth of great drum corps.
Absolutely, and that's the issue right now with 8 through 15 right now. What was good enough to get even top 5 or 6 years ago is now just good enough to be bottom 6, bottom 7, or maybe not even make finals now.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We would, champions from years past would not be in the top 6 anymore.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just the way the activity has evolved in the last few years. It's so fast, and it's just now it's almost the wild, wild west again, where designers are just trying the newest things and the craziest things, and sometimes traditional shows, ones that we would consider drum corps of old, aren't going to cut it anymore. And so you have those moments, but now you really have to just bring all kinds of craziness to the field, which I love. But yes, you're right. It's challenging for the groups that are just going to do a solid show. Sometimes it's got to be a lot deeper than what they're bringing.
And speaking of tradition, let's talk about the Crossman. It went with a more traditional uniform this year. Obviously jazzed it up, put a lot of elements on it, just like they put a lot of elements into their show. So that corps, you know, seems like maybe they're finally locked into that top 12 spot for several years in a row.
Sure, I think you could consider them now a perennial finalist, but as you can see right now, they are fighting with Phantom and Mandarins and Colts and Spirit and Academy for that bottom, like 10 through 14th spot. They have the same type of uniform they've had since they've come to Texas. You know, they have the Aussie, they've removed the sleeves, and they've stayed somewhat traditional in their uniform, just like you said. They've added some ornamentation to it, but hey, it's a competitive activity, and I know we try to say everybody's a winner for being in drum corps, and they are. Absolutely. But a more realistic approach is there's only one winner, and there's 12 finalists, and so you got to get in. So clean, get it up, figure it out.
Yeah, there you go. The stark, cold truth from the mouth of Daniel Montoya.
You can at me on that one. It's okay.
All right. So, fan favorite poll. I'm a little disappointed, Flo family. I have to admit, we've only had about 15,000 votes so far. 37,000 last week. Music City is still in the lead. So, folks from other drum corps, you got to wake up your fan base and vote in the fan favorite poll. Head on over to FloMarching.com. Remember, you can do this even if you're sitting in the stadium. Spirit of Atlanta fans, I'm looking at you. Come on, make me right.
Yeah, where you at?
And we'll close that poll right about when the time the scores are read. So you best hustle up. Up next, we have a solid block of really excellent drum corps, lots of entertainment, Daniel. We're going to lead it off with the cadets, a little unity project there. Blue Knights, Blue Stars, Crusaders, Carolina Crown, the Green Team, Blue Devils, Santa Clara Vanguard, and then last corps on tonight is Blue Coats. Daniel and I will be back with you in the studio for more news, analysis, and puns with the Taking the Field post-show. And until then, we hope you enjoy all of the drum corps that Atlanta has to offer. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with you after the scores. Score.